Hey, cosmic superstars. My name is Teo, and welcome to Honest Flow. So, Honest Flow is a channel where we have honest conversations. And as always, I would like to remind everyone to please understand that honest conversations aren't always going to be easy and can be highly triggering. Yes, the content on my channel can be triggering. That said, the intent is never to hurt, to guilt, to shame, to be condescending. The intent is just to simply speak the truth and highlight certain things that people should become more conscious and aware of so that they can make positive changes in their life and move forward in life instead of getting stuck and sort of sitting in the background and complaining and being the victim or the martyr. Because, yeah, if you want change, you gotta look at the shadows, guys. So, anyway, yeah, let's get onto it. And I just want to say, yes, I am wearing the same outfit as my what do you call it? My last video. So I don't know why I like to move like that. Anyway, I just had like dinner before and I don't know what's in my ramen. It's making me delirious and I have this weird pain in the back of my head. I'm wondering if there's MSG in my ramen actually because I do notice whenever I have a meal that potentially has MSG in it, I always get this weird head pain. But anyway, I'm digressing. So, yeah, today I would like to talk about the law of karma and basically getting what you give, the law of give and take. And yeah, I don't know how deep I'm going to go into this, but I just wanted to at least touch upon it and explain something that I personally feel happens or is the cause for people not being able to sort of manifest what they want. So I just burped. This ramen is like intense. Anyway, sorry guys. Anyway, I'm going with the flow, right? Yeah. First and foremost, I'm going to pull out my phone, which is where I always type my random thoughts in the notes section. And anyway, I typed this out the other day and I thought I would read it first just to give you an idea where I'm sort of headed with this. Okay. Some give to get, and so they get what they give, while others simply give and they too get what they give. Can you spot the difference? It's all about true intent. Yep. So, giving to get versus simply giving. So, these two types of actions both are giving, but both with very two different intents. One comes from what I call the opportunist. The other comes from what I will call the open hearted, right? So the opportunist gives because they are hoping to get something back in return, they're hoping for gains. The open hearted gives because they just enjoy giving. And yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more in a moment, but I want to sort of rewind and take a step back and give you some background, personal life, personal share right now. So, for a big portion of my life, I would say more so in recent years, I've had a lot of people sort of, look at my life on the outside and then tell me that I'm very lucky. And I'm just going to put it out right there. I don't what's the word? I don't like people using that word on me, like to say that I'm lucky, like everything was given to me on a silver platter, like I am where I am because of like some sort of connection or ties. Like, no, I actually worked really hard to get to where I am today. FYI, 20 years ago, my first job was working as a waitress, and I was in the hospitality industry for a big chunk of my life. Well, not big chunk, but I would say 5 6 years of my life I was in hospitality. And then I did move over to Japan for a year back in I think 2007 teaching English to Japanese children. Then I came back, finished my beauty therapy diploma whilst working in hospitality again, and then became a beauty therapist. And I did that for a couple of years. And then after that, I fell into the corporate world. I became a receptionist, and then I moved up to admin officer, and then project coordinator, and then blah blah blah, and blah 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 blah. And like now I am in the corporate world in project teams, and yeah, I work for a charity organization right now. But anyway, that whole journey was 20 years of my life, right? And for people to look at my life right now and say, "Oh, you are lucky. You got given everything you want." It's like, no, I had to sort of work hard to get to where I am, guys. It's not just luck. And for those of you who keep saying that, I feel like that's just your excuse because you have no one else to blame or you have nowhere else to go, so you just use that term. But the truth is, it's not luck. Most people work hard towards their goals, and most of the time when we're looking at those people we idolize, celebrities, etc., we're looking at the end result that came from a lot of hard work. Anyway, so for a big portion of my life, I feel like people have always said to me that I always seem to get what I want. I'm always so lucky. I always seem to attract the perfect opportunities. And I always have people supporting me in the background. So, again, for those of you who don't know, in the background, I don't want to sound egoic or anything like that, but it's just the truth of my reality because I am a person that's connected to a lot of people, a lot of different groups, a lot of people from different age groups, different backgrounds, different cultures, different scenarios. Like I'm quite linked to a lot of people, and it's just part of my makeup because, yeah, I am the humanitarian, I am the people person. I have, like I said, worked in so many different places, and I've also been in a lot of it sounds weird saying I've been in a lot of relationships, like makes me sound like a HOE, but no, it's not that. I've been in a lot of long-term relationships, and the men that I dated were kind of like socialites or people that knew people. So because was in these sort of relationships with guys that knew a lot of people, again, that expanded my network. So I know so many different people, right? Now, throughout my life, I guess it does seem lucky because I always seem to have the support of a lot of people. Yes, there are people that do not like me, but I've come to understand it's just because they're insecure, they're threatened by my energy, they're triggered by parts of me because those parts are parts they wish they had, but they don't have. And, that's not on me, that's on them, right? To deal with. And so I know that there are people who are always wondering, say, why is it that I'm trying to do the things that Tao does, but I don't seem to attract what she can attract? And let me elaborate a bit further. I'm just trying to pull in an example. So, like I said, I have a lot of people sort of supporting me, and in the sense, like, in my private social media accounts, I have a lot of people who like my posts and things, but when certain friends or certain people compare, like, might post a similar thing, they seem to not get as much, I guess, action or something like that. And they're always wondering, why is it that Tao gets so much love and support from these people, and even people that aren't even that close or people who have just met her? How does she do that? And the thing is this, what I have come to understand and learn is I have always been a very open-hearted soul. I've always been open to meeting everybody. Now, do not mistake that for being best friends with everybody. I'm open-hearted, I'm very welcoming and kind, and I have a very nurturing energy when I meet new people. However, I don't share my full life story with everyone. I'm pretty reserved. I'm just like, yeah, I'll listen to people, I'll let people talk to me, but I'm not going to talk to them in the sense like share what my life story is on the get-go, from the get-go, right? But yeah, I've always been very open, very kind, and I've never been judgmental. I've never been selective with who I am open to. Whereas I have people, or no, I don't own people. I know of people who tend to only open their doors to people that they can benefit from. And what I mean by that is people that have some sort of social status, are up there. People who are very good looking because, that makes them look good. People who have money, something like that, like people with titles, like big titles. So I know of people who only open their doors, their world up to people like that. And then anyone that's classified as a misfit, an underdog, loser, ugly, like I don't even like using those words, but those people close the door to those. Whereas I'm free for all. I'm like free for all. I'm very kind to everyone. And that's why anyone who knows me knows that I know so many different people. I make friends with so many different people. And then I know that there are people who sometimes look through my social media, like, I was like, wow, she's friends with these kind of people and these kind of people and these kind of people. Like, she seems to like just mingle with everyone. It's like, yeah, because that's what I do. That's the humanitarian side of me. We don't judge, we just open our doors. And to be honest, I love misfits. I love the underdogs because I resonate with being that. However, I feel like sometimes people look at me as someone cool, but I don't see myself as cool at all. I just don't. I'm just like me. I'm just quirky. I'm just weird. But yeah. And so that's the difference between me and those who sort of only open up the doors to those they can benefit. And that's what I want to call the opportunist. And where those of us who open our doors to everyone, we are called the open-hearted souls. So when you're an open-hearted soul and you operate from that place, what you give out, you get. Definitely you get it back. However, those who operate as what we call opportunists, they give because they have an intent. They want something back. They want sort of, yeah, just something in return for their effort. Whereas the open-hearted soul doesn't really think that way. They just do it. They just open the door. They're just nice to people because they know that's the right thing to do. And then the opportunist is like, what's in it for me? Like, what can I benefit out of this connection, out of this person? How can I leverage off this connection? That's how they're thinking. And this is why when these people are giving out to their select person, select crew, whereas I'm giving out to whoever wants a piece of me or whatever. When it comes to the return that's coming back, the open-hearted soul seems to get more because it's coming from a place of pure intent and yet coming from the heart. Whereas the opportunist who does everything in a calculative manner doesn't doesn't seem to get the same results or the same love and support because they're so closed off. And it's funny because these opportunities are expecting to get something in return. It's like, I don't get it. I've been nice to this person and this person, but why is it I still can't get as much attraction and magnetize people to me the way Tayo does? How does Tayo do it? I'm like, well, Tayo simply just opens the doors like, hey guys, I'm here. And then I'm just being me. And I'm like, and I don't want anything from anyone. I don't go out there with the intent of I want something from you. I just go that out there with the intent of like, be a nice person, be nice to everybody. And then people come to me. People naturally are drawn to me. Whereas these people who only do stuff because they want something in return and only choose to mingle with and connect with high power people and stuff like that. I know I just feel like they're just, yeah, this is a delusional group in a way. Like the opportunist people, while yes, they can all hang together, they won't get as much support as the souls that go out there helping everyone because everyone can see the light in this person and everyone can see that this person is just doing it out of inauthenticity, out of wanting something. So, yeah, I guess that's just something I wanted to highlight when it comes to the law of karma and the law of give and take. And you get what you give, yet the intent of what you give is very important. I am not 100% sure if I have explained myself well enough in this video, but I'm hoping that you kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say. If you want to receive in life good things, abundance, wealth, just make sure that you're always operating from here and not always acting from the place of what can I get in return from this interaction. Stop making everything transactional. Make sure that you just give unconditionally rather than conditionally, because that's the problem. When you give conditionally, that's where you're halting, sort of drawing a line on the, you know what I'm trying to say here with these, receiving. You stop the flow of abundance coming to you because you're not really truly open to everyone. And at the same time, by not being open to everyone, you're kind of not being open to yourself. Do you get what I mean? Because not accepting everyone means you're not accepting something within yourself. To sort of ignore the people who you deem as not good enough, losers, ugly, it means that there is something within you, that part of you that you don't accept too. So unless you learn to accept everyone and everything, it means that you accept you too. Do I make sense? In my mind, I feel like I'm making sense, but I don't really know. I'm gonna have to rewatch this and figure out if I want to post this or not, or do it again. Hopefully not. You know what? I'm just gonna post it anyway. I'm exhausted. This MSG hit. This MSG hit is really like making the back of my skull like heat up. Oh, I know MSG won't kill you guys. Like, seriously, stop exaggerating things. Watch my control and perfectionism video just to remind you stop stressing out over little things. Anyway, that's all, guys. Bye.